and this is me sitting and watching how AI actually works for me in Blender. Yes, this is real now. 3D modeling is now for everyone, and I will show you how to make it possible. Okay, so the whole magic is about Blender MCP, and we're gonna install it and use with Claude AI. So as a prerequisites, we will need a Claude AI desktop app and a Blender version 4.3 and above. So for these two things, it's very straightforward. You just go on a Claude, download and install Claude application. For Blender, same thing, go to the Blender website, download the latest version and install it. But for the next steps, I will guide you through. For tech savvy guys, I will attach the link, or you can Google it by yourself. It's called Blender MCP, and you can find a GitHub page with complete instruction, or you can follow me. So after you install Blender and Claude, the next thing we need to do is install UV package. If you're using Mac, you need to follow this instruction. I will be showing it how to do that on Windows, and to do that we need to go to install UV link from this GitHub page. You open it and there will be a command here. So what we need to do, we press Windows here, press copy this command. Now you need to go to your search and find PowerShell. Right click on it and run as administrator. Press yes. Now just paste it here and press enter. So you can see it's now downloading UV and it's installed. So in my case, it's already installed. However, you will see something like this. When everything is installed, you need to copy this link that will be shown from the $sign. Just copy a whole link until this comma ends. Copy and paste it and press enter again. That will add this to the path. Well, that's basically it. For me, it was extremely smooth. I didn't experience any difficulties, but let me know in the comments if you will have any problems and I'll help you solve it. Now we need to install Python. Python is a language that runs Blender and many other things. It might be already installed in your computer, but in sake if it's not, you can go on a Python website and download one of the following. You can download Python 3.11 or 3.13. It is important to download one that is above 3.10, but the rest I think is less important. You can download this one, Windows install, and install it is very straightforward. Potentially it might ask you to restart your computer. Well, that's fine. After all of that is done, now we need to go back to Git page and let's copy this text. So this is basically a reference to MSP server that we need to put to Claude. Now let's go to a Claude app, press on this hamburger menu, go to File, go to Settings, open it, go to Developer page and press Edit Config. So what's gonna happen is that it will open a page and we need to find Claude Desktop Config.json. So you can basically open it in Notepad or any text viewer, or you can open it in a VS Code or Cursor if you use it. So in my case, I only have Blender MSP server, but if you have any another MSP servers, you basically need to copy this part inside after the comma, or if you have nothing, you just copy paste the whole thing. I already have it and press save. That's it. The process looks a little bit different for Mac users, but you can refer to the instruction in that case. Okay, and the last thing, we need to go back to the GitHub page and we need to download the addon.py file. So it is actually here, so you need to locate it and press on it. After you press on it, it will be opened here and you need to press on these three dots and download. When you downloaded the file, go to the Blender, open it, press on the Edit Preferences, go to Add-ons, and you need to find this button and press Install from Disk. Now you need to locate this file and press Install from Disk. After installation, you will see it as checked and named Blender MSP. Pretty much you can close this window, and the last thing we need to check if it's installed correctly, close this preferences menu. You need to find at this small arrow, press on it. If everything is successful, you will see horizontal tab called Blender MSP. That's it. It works, and now we can start playing around. Now when we have Blender installed, let's get familiar with very basic things to navigate around. How do you rotate and move around the scene? It's very easy. Press on the wheel and move around. that will rotate the scene. Scroll it and it will zoom in, zoom out. If you want to pan around, press shift and press on the wheel and move around. It will give you an option to move camera like this. Pretty much that's all the navigation you need, and you can see what will happen in your 3D scene. Another thing, if you want to do some manipulations, you can see buttons here. This for move, for rotation and scale. We don't need anything else right now, but if you're keen to explore, go ahead. If you select something in the scene, you can press move button and you will have very convenient arrows to move it around. If you want to rotate, just press rotate and you will have controls to rotate it around. Another important thing to know is that there are viewport shadings, and the current one actually shows it is solid material and you will not be able to see any materials even if AI add them. And you can switch to this one, which will show the materials but not show the lights, etc. And the last one will actually show how lights affected and all the environment settings so on. You can play around with these 3 buttons. And the last thing is to delete an object. Just press on an object and then press delete on a keyboard. As simple as that. And now let's move into creating things. Now let's try it out. To make it work, first make sure you have only one Blender running. This is important as each Blender instance might run the MSP server and we don't want them to conflict. So what you need to do, open a Blender, do not do anything but go to this tab and press connect to MSP server. Boom, done. Now we must be able to go to this menu and see that Blender is visible here and all the functions are available. If that looks like this, then all set. If you have any problems, try to first close cursor, close Blender, first open Blender, connect the MSP server, and then open cursor again. My help, I experienced the difficulties only once and it were fixed after I properly closed everything and opened once again after installation. Okay, so let's try to generate a randomly generated Minecraft landscape in the style of a Minecraft. Let it be 250 by 250 blocks and let it be a sort of valley with the river. Let's see what it will give us. Okay. Not bad. Okay. As you can see, it actually creates primitive geometries and combine them to actually achieve what you ask. It also do manipulation with the render, with the lights, with many things. And I mean, this is absolutely legendary. You now can try to create it, and with a little bit of manipulations like moving around, like deleting, etc., you can do any compositions and further improve them with AI or even render with AI and many more things. So as you can see from this recording, I basically just manipulated with the object in a very simple way, just moving them around, just moving camera around, asking AI to do something, and you see the scene is actually there. But let's try another thing. But there is more that it can do. Not only it can create something from primitives, but it also can create 3D models using a third-party services and add them to your Blender scene. Here is another example how I played around. You need to set up Rodin or polyhaven assets. You need to enable asset generation, or it also can use polyhaven to find some ready-made assets there. So in this example, I asked it to create a castle. Then I created a plateau, a little bit of background. I created the dragon, a knight, and I just moved around to build a scene. It all took me around 10 minutes and that was super fun and super easy. Let me show you how to set it up, how to create 3D models and add them to the scene. It is actually very easy. So one thing we need to do whenever we activate the MSP, then we need to activate this option if we want it to actually find assets from polyhaven. Or we need to activate Hyper 3D Rodin, and to give it a try, you can try to set the free trial key and actually start creating. So let's give it a try. Create red, high red with big sword. First time when you run the MSP, it will actually ask you about allowing to call external functions, you will see the window like that. Feel safe to allow it. I do not receive them anymore because I already pressed it. As you can see here, it started to generate the model. So it actually called the Rodin API and it waiting the model to be generated. So as you can see, it creates the model, it waits, it pulls it for a few times, and whenever it's ready, you can see it actually added to the scene. Okay, it's still finalizing something. Right? Like it tried to reposition it. Okay, it's done. So you can see it created a model, it placed it on the floor. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's totally fine for now. The another thing is that if you want to connect it to use your API key and you plan to create a lot of models, so you can enter your API key from Hyper3D. Then you just go to the full AI account, go to API keys, add new key, add a name, press create key, and here we go. You have a new key that you can use there. For those who are serious to try this out, and here is a few advanced tricks for you. If you really like to play around with Blender and for some reason Rodin is not providing like good enough models, you can still add these models in extremely easy way by creating them elsewhere. So for example, let's do the same in Hunyuan 2.5. Let's enter the prompt and press generate now. So Hunyuan takes some time to create a model. Let's wait. Alright, so models are ready and it gives me an option to select one of four. I like this one. Let's first preview it here. Alright, to be honest, I like it more than Rodin model. And the only thing you need to add it to the Blender scene is basically download it. Press the download. You can download in GLB. Then let's go to my scene. Let's press on the current night and press delete. Boom. So what we can do is just drag and drop the GLB model we just downloaded. You don't need to change any settings, just press import GLTF and we have the model. But it might appear smaller. So what you can do to scale it by all axes, just press S and hold on your keyboard and move your mouse until you have it in the right size. Now I just need to rotate it. Let's make it actually a bit smaller. This looks much better. As easy as this, you can drag and drop 3D models in a Blender scene and continue creating. The another cool thing is that from created scene in Blender, you can take screenshots and use them as reference for AI to create an images in any style that you want. So what I'm gonna do is just take my scene, remove all the objects I don't need, just select them and delete. I will position a camera with my mouse and I will just do a screenshot and I will go to the full AI and I will find canny or depth flux models and actually ask it to render it. So canny and depths are ControlNets that actually helps to transfer the concept, the idea that the canny transfer is as lines and depths transfer is as a depth of image. Okay, so for this example, let's use depth, and what we need to do is define flux control lower depths image to image, as we want it to be based on image. Go here, choose our image here, and let's describe the image is dark fantasy styled scene. All right, and now we need to go to additional settings and just adjust few things. By default, control lower strength, which is how strongly it will follow the depth of original image, is 1, which is usually too high, and we will just reduce it to 0.8 and let's press run. Okay, so here's the final result. So depth or canny helps image generation model to follow the concept of our image, and if we use image to image model, it will also follow the original colors, etc. You can play with settings such as strength to adjust how strongly it follow the original concept and so on, and get amazing nice results. And very last pro tip for real passionate creators: how to create nice looking environment texture with AI. We need to go to Hyper3D.ai and find one interesting tool that they recently released. We go to OmniCrafts and go to HDRI generation. It's also available here, but we'll go here. Let's press explore, and I already created one. But basically you just describe what exactly you want and it will create an image. Let's try it out. So here, by pressing the plus button, you describe a style, and here you will describe the location itself. And let's press generate and see how it looks. Okay, so here's the image. It looks dope. I'm not gonna lie. If you're happy with the image, you press unlock. If you're not happy, press regenerate. Let's unlock it for now, and I'll show you how to use it in Blender as environment texture. Okay, so it's done. We can preview it here. Let's download it. It will download the archive, and from the archive we need to extract HDRI.exr. Let's extract this file, and to actually use it in Blender we need to first load this texture in Blender, and then let's ask Claude to actually apply it as environment. We need to go to shading tab in Blender. Here in this window we need to press on object and switch to worlds. The only thing here what we need to do is drag and drop our texture here, and that's it. Now I will make a screenshot and I will send this screenshot to Claude. I just ask it to use this texture as environment, and I already added it to Blender scene. So the thing is, the MSP are not capable to load textures right now, but if texture is added to Blender file, it can find it and use it. Now in Blender we can go back to layout tab, and let's wait until it's done. As you can see, it actually found our HDRI.exr file, which is great. Alright, and you can see now in our Blender scene we can actually see the environment texture, as cool as it can be. Well, that's it so far, guys. I really hope you like it. I mean, this tool is amazing. It's not perfect yet, but it already opened so much opportunities to starting playing around. If you never explored the Blender before, I encourage you to try it out. This is something that is affordable, accessible, and it will gonna be better and better so on. For some of you, I believe this can encourage you to learn Blender a little bit, to do some cool stuff with help of AI and so on. If this was useful and you love 3D as much as I do, please consider subscribing, and see you in the next videos.